you went to see Pavarotti and he got a cob on because you joined in.
I outsang him.
This old lady all of a sudden opened the curtains of her flat, not knowing what was going on, and there was Ricky on a wooden vice.
Is that in the video?
Yeah. Enjoy this because it won't last forever.
The rest of the week wasn't much better.
It's nice when you meet nice people that are in showbiz as well.
Yeah. And that really gives me a buzz, honestly.
Hello, I'm Bobby Murdock. This is In Conversation with Bobby Murdock, and this is the first of our series, and hopefully it's going to run and run and run. But I've got two wonderful guests here today. We have from Liverpool, Asa Murphy, who is an Irish musician and producer of Irish Annies, and of course, Ricky Tomlinson, national treasure, Liverpudlian, freeman of the city, Brookside,
Sex symbol,
yeah.
You name it, he's done it. So welcome to our guests. Thank you for coming to do this.
Pleasure,
lovely to be here.
And we're in Liverpool as well, which is very important to mention. So Asa, Ricky, lovely to meet you both.
Thank you.
So I'll just talk about how I first of all met you, which was seeing a production that you written, Asa, and that you starred in, Ricky, which was Irish Annies.
That's right, yeah.
Stage play, yeah.
Yeah, a wonderful musical which Asa written and produced and has a brilliant cast. So just tell us a little bit about Irish Annies and what was the concept of its creation and how you started with it.
It came really from the history of my family because my father came over here, and so we spent our lives between Liverpool and the south of Ireland, and so a lot of the pubs that my dad drank in and the pub that I grew up next to in Liverpool, and funny enough, there's a very strange story about me and Ricky with that. Ricky was plastering the roof of the pub that I was born next door to.
That's
we'll get to that when he was a young lad, called Lulu's in Liverpool, known as the Lee Arms, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Lulu's. So all the characters that came in and out of these pubs, I used to sort of watch them, and you couldn't write some of them because they were that funny.
Yeah.
So one day, during the beginning of COVID, obviously, and we were all sort of time on our hands, I sat down and I wrote this show called Irish Annies, which is about 5 people who frequent this pub, all different characters, but have all got a model story. And I decided, instead of just having the same old Irish songs we hear all the time, which I love, be nice to just write original material. So the story is intertwined with original Irish songs, and Ricky's character is known as, in Irish, the Shanachie, which is Gaelic for storyteller. And he's the fellow who comes in the pub with all the great anecdotes and stories and jokes, and everyone sits around. And I remember ringing him up. Obviously, we go back a long way, but I rang him up and said, look, it'd be great if you could be a part of this. And without a hesitation, he went, I'll be there for you.
Yeah.
And, I can't thank him enough because, to have someone of Ricky's stature attach the name to Irish Annies immediately got attention. And we've been on an adventure for the past 4 or 5 years.
It has been an adventure. We've been everywhere. It's been wonderful.
It's amazing,
Started off with 8 shows, finished off with 42.
And the reception on the stage is amazing. But and I'm being serious now, the best part of the thing for me is when the show's over and we go in the foyer and we have a table and chairs set up. Hundreds of photographs, hundreds of caricatures. Everyone has a selfie. We see everyone, because I don't believe that just going on the stage and doing your hour or your hour and 20 minutes, saying thank you, good night, and God bless. I don't think that's enough. You've come a long way. You've spent a few pounds. Do you want to meet you and say hello? How are you doing? Or I remember you from so and so. I remember that for me is part of the show, and I do it everywhere we go.
And I've experienced that, and I've got to say, people's faces when they meet you, they're like, oh my goodness, Ricky, and it's nice that you spend that time with people.
Ricky even said, to some of the cast, it would be nice if you just came out for 5 minutes.
Said hello.
And I thought to myself, actually, that's a great idea. So we all, well, some didn't, but some did come out in character and just said, thanks for coming, hope you enjoyed the show. And they were like, oh, it's the people off the stage. And and then Ricky set the precedent for it with meeting people. So we'd come down, have pictures with the people. But it was, like he said, it was the whole experience of Irish Annies, of people coming, hearing the music, experiencing a sing-along thing, because we encouraged them to join in as well.
How do you feel about that? Because, I used to go to gigs years ago, and I used to go and watch Oasis or a rock band or Shed 7, and I don't really remember singing along. I really remember just having a few ales and watching the gig and dancing. But some people have had a dig at people when they go to gigs now, and they sort of treat it as a sing-along. But it's weird, isn't it? I think that's maybe okay in a musical, but do you think that's all right if you're going to see Oasis? Or I mean, do I just sound like an old fart?
I think you go along to whatever sort of show and enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
And if you enjoy joining in, singing along, sing along. Yeah. That's the end of it. Like at the end of our little gig, I have a load of photographs, a load of caricatures, and I sign them and say, there you go. And they go, how much is that?
Yeah.
I say, well, they're nothing. They went, well, so-and-so charged it. I said, well, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Why are they charging people to give them a photograph of themselves when they've already paid to see them on the stage?
Yeah. Although you did say that you went to see Pavarotti and he got a cob on because you joined in.
Yeah, it wasn't that I joined in, I outsang him. He was panicking a bit, wasn't he?
You were singing that Nessun Dorma when you went mad.
Yeah, I said, who's in the Dorma? That's what he said,
Do you remember the Peter Kay advert?
Yeah.
I think it's Neil Diamond on stage and he goes, go!
That's
and
right.
He's there, excuse us.
But in our show, the principal character, Annie, who's the hostess of the pub, she comes out and says, look, you're one or two things in life. You're either a mucker or the Irish expression, a fecker, right? So you either join in or you get out. So we expect them. So interspersed in the show, we'll suddenly have the Wild Rover. So we expect them to sing the Wild Rover, and they do. But obviously I understand if you're going to see a tribute to Dolly Parton or Whitney Houston, you don't want someone behind you singing I Will Always Love You.
It's a little bit different, isn't it?
But ours is different.
I've got to say, I listened to the album in the car and I love it. And the one I love, and you starred in a video that you did on YouTube, was Dimple in His Chin.
Dimple in His Chin, yeah.
That's Ace, that.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people, particularly that were either a little bit way at school, like probably we all were, people that come from the sort of acting, sort of genre of work now. Yeah, I could really hear myself in that song. And I think obviously that was the same for you when you written it as well. But that is a great song. Yeah. And in my opinion, that should be available for purchase everywhere. Because even as a single, that is a great track, Dimple in His Chin.
We had fun doing the video, didn't we? We filmed the video in our mate Little Ken. He lives in a warden-controlled place called Cornmill Lodge. They let him out occasionally. But we asked for permission to film it there, and we had a scream. But the funniest thing happened because one of the scenes, Ricky's got an old wooden violin with a twig, pretending to play it in the garden to the break, which was actually played by a great violin player called Peter Morgan in the video, in the song. So he's miming to that, and this old lady all of a sudden opened the curtains of her flat, not knowing what was going on, and there was Ricky on a wooden violin. Is
that in the video?
Yeah, and she opened the window and went, "What the bloody hell's going on?" like that, and he said, we said, "We're filming a video in the garden."
No, she said, Stradivarius. I said, no, he can't come, love, today. I'm doing it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, she was just a pensioner watching us out the window, and it was all a bit of fun,
Imagine opening your window and there's Ricky Tomlinson on a pretend violin.
Having a fever dream,
yeah.
But no, I loved it, and I recommend anyone, get hold of that CD, and it's called...
The only thing that worried me about the show was at the end of the afternoon, the old one started dancing.
Right.
And that was okay. They got away with that, but then they started to encroach on the stage.
Right.
And started throwing articles of clothing
really
on the stage. And all the theatres we've done so many theatres, I don't remember how many bagfuls of underwear I got. Not one piece fitted me. It's a waste of time.
It's the crossless one.
Not one piece of their underclothing fitted me. So they're all in the charity shop now.
Stuck to the wall.
Listen, I'm not being funny. I'm 80 odd. And I love to see them pensioners getting up and dancing and laughing and joking. That makes my day. When I'm on the stage and I'm watching that, I'm in my apple cart. This isn't about Ricky Tomo or Asa Murphy or Kenny Harrison. This is about them.
Yeah.
That's why I love doing matinees, because we get mostly pensioners in who come because they can come watch the show, have a wonderful time. They go out, it's still daylight. They're not worried about lager louts and all like that. Yeah. And that really gives me a buzz. Honestly, it gives me a buzz.
I've got to say, the afternoon, and I'll talk more about that, but when we have done performances in the afternoon, they've been brilliantly well attended. And like you said, for all those reasons, because it's something that everyone can go out, can't they, at 1 o'clock in the afternoon?
Yeah.
Everyone can.
We like afternoon shows because they're finished early, so we can go on the lash then, can't we?
We can go and find Ken. Ken is our mascot.
Yeah.
He's our mentor, and he's our sort of security. Yeah. We don't see a lot of him. No. But if ever we're in trouble, all we've got to do is find the nearest wine lodge.
Yeah.
And he's there, he'll be there.
He's like Godzilla, isn't he? You just send that little...
Exactly. For those who don't know who Ken is, Ken's sort of like he's like our Oppo. He's like the man who's in charge of everything.
Yeah.
Doesn't he? Runs everything. He's like security, isn't he?
Yeah.
He gets us all the stuff that we demand.
I think he should change the name of his security firm now. It's called Coward Security. Doesn't work, does it?
No, it doesn't inspire.
Send for Coward. Send for Coward. He goes, I'm coming now.
Amazing. So I want to talk about the green room. Obviously, that's where you guys met. That was a venue that you had. Where was it in Liverpool? Because I never had the opportunity.
Duke Street.
Duke Street.
Yeah, which it was just fantastic. It was like, it's hard to describe really, but I tell you what I remember. I remember saying to Ricky and Ken once, there was one Sunday afternoon there where the whole place was just bouncing. And I remember saying, enjoy this because it won't last forever. Because they never do those places. But it was 10 years, wasn't it, Rick?
I was there for 7, yeah.
7, and it was just fantastic. You couldn't get in there. The queue would go round the block.
It's amazing.
You know, people like, if it was sold out, people would be waiting at the door for any
The thing for me is we used to get like boxers in there, Johnny Cook and footballers, Everton and Liverpool footballers and their wives.
Yeah.
Never any trouble. We had 2 doormen who were worth their weight in gold. Never any trouble. You see pensioners come, they'd call for the taxi for them, they'd help them in. It's all, and that's that for me is part of the gig, part of the night out.
I think that's Liverpool. I think, I always say it, you don't get better customer service than in Liverpool. My experience anyway. Whenever I go to a bar.
There used to be chatterbangs. Years ago, we used to get chatterbangs to Blackpool and all like that for a night out. It was the other way round, and chatterbangs were coming in from Blackpool and Preston. You know, so people to come to the green room and have a night in the green room. And it was great. We had like good acts on. Nice little bit of repartee between myself and the audience, gags and stuff like that. And we'd read out anniversaries. And it was a real family night.
And you would host it. You would go on an MC or host it compare.
And that was the attraction because people would travel from everywhere and they couldn't believe it. They'd walk in and go, it's Ricky Tomlinson. Then Ricky would get up and he would introduce the acts. But I'll tell you what else was good. We had some big names, big top of the bills, and Ricky would always give them a particular introduction, like bring them back down to ground. That's what it was about. It was about, you couldn't have a big head in there, you know. And there was a country singer on once. Ricky gave him the best intro I've ever heard in my life. He said, ladies and gentlemen, this next guy I'd like to introduce you to now. He said, when I make it big in Nashville, he said, I'm never coming back to this dump ever again. I'm finished with it. I'll be a big star. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is now. Put your hands together for him. And he had to walk on and they were going, boo.
But they all took it in good. They all took it in good sport because that's what it was about. It was a fun night.
Yeah.
It was a fun night. But you know what? On my life, all the years I was there, I think I was there for 7 years, I never seen an argument.
Never?
I never seen an argument.
It was a lovely atmosphere.
And them two doormen of ours, they were incredible. And do you know what their main duty was of a night when it was, you know, people, what I am now at their age then, taxis would come, they'd open the door, they'd take them to make sure they got in. Yeah. They were more than doormen. They were gentlemen, they were great.
Yeah, they understood. And it's nice, isn't it? And I think, like you say, at places like that, I mean, the only place I can think that's similar to that, and my dad and my mum used to go there, was the Wookey Hollow.
The Wookey was a nice place,
and again, well before my time, but did you ever play there? Or did you go there as a,
I went to the Wookey Hollow, it was only in Shield Road,
What was it like?
Well, the lad who owned it was Terry Phillips.
Right.
And Terry Phillips was he was Mr. Universe for I think it goes on size, you know?
Yeah.
And he was, whatever the size limit was, he was Mr. Universe for that weight. But it was run, but you could get a meal there. The cabaret was always superb. It was Bobby, what was Bobby's name, the lad who compared it? He was, I can't think of his second name now, knew it for years. And they got all real big acts on.
It's amazing.
Real big.
Yeah,
but I think it
that's
was an ex-cinema, wasn't it?
It was,
I think it had been an ex-cinema, you know,
Yeah.
so it was really set up for it, you know. Bobby Shacklady he was the compere for a while. Then Bernie Wenton, Bernie done it for a while, you know.
And there was a lot of clubs like that, Rick, wasn't it? Like the Montrose, the Wookie, the Shakespeare.
Well, Ernie Mac had them, you know.
They were great clubs.
Ernie Mac had the Montrose Club and all like that. And Ernie Mac had a real quiet sense of humour. And he'd been a prisoner of war, you know.
Oh, right.
During the war with the Japanese. And apparently he'd spent 4 years in a prisoner of war camp. And there's a young reporter, and he said, go and get an interview of Ernie Mac. And so the lad went, knocked on the door, and Ernie Mac comes to the door and said, can I help you, son? He said, yes, Mr. Mac. He said, I hope you don't mind. He said, I've come to interview you. He said, oh, what about? He said, apparently, he said, you were a prisoner of war, weren't you? And you served 4 years in a prisoner of war camp. And Ernie Mac said, yes, that's right, 4 years in a prisoner of war camp. He said, what was it like? He said, well, it rained on Monday. He said, that was the interview. Rained on Monday, and the rest of the week wasn't much better.
No, it's brilliant. That's what I like about sort of those sort of stories and what have you. And also as well, a lot of Liverpool stars came through those clubs, didn't they? They always supported local artists and local comedians and local musicians and stuff like that. So
well, the best non-professional comedian I've ever heard in my life. He was second only to the great Ken Dodder, in my opinion. The best comic that's ever walked on the stage. But the best one from Liverpool, he didn't want the big time. He just wanted to play the clubs and the dives and all of that. Was a lad called Jackie Hamilton.
Right.
He was a phenomenal.
What was his style? Was he a one-liner or was he a
No,
storyteller?
he tells stories, and because he lived by the docks, he'd tell stories about dockers, and he'd tell stories about his mates. He was amazing, and he just didn't want the big time. He didn't want to dress up and put the dicky bow on and the frilly shirt and walk on the stage with "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, lovely to be here." He used to get up in the pub and you could hear a pin drop. And he was just he must have got some of his humour off his mother, because he had sisters and that, but they got married and all got off, and the mum was left on her own, and so she never had to deal with anything. And the local coal man comes one day and said, "Coal, ma'am, do you want any coal, ma?" And she said, "Yes, I'll have to have 100 weights of coal, son." So she said, "Oh, how much is it?" And he said something, I can't remember now, he said something like, "It's £7 a hundredweight." She said, "What? £7 a hundredweight?" She'd never had to buy it, her daughters used to do it, see. She said, "The last time I bought coal, it was 10 shilling a bag." He said, "Well, I'm sorry, love, that's it, you know. Do you want it or not?" She said, "Well, I'll have to have it." Because the daughters and that, they'd all got married and moved out, and Jackie had gone, and all moved out. Anyway, the coal man comes and said, "Where do you want the coal, love?" She said, "They are in the yard, lad, in the thing." So he tips it in. She said, "Where do you want me to," he said, where do you want me to put the coal?" She said, "For that price, put it in the display cabinet."
That's amazing.
Real Liverpool humour. And we know now where Jackie got his talent from. That Jackie Hamilton was something else. It was he's the real guy. Mick Miller does a gag now, and it's really happened to Jackie Hamo. He was working on a film for me, because I had a little agency, and I sent him to work as an extra on a programme called Jenny's War. And it was about prisoners of war. And there was a girl in it called Diane Cannon. And what happened, the storyline was ridiculous. Her husband, an American soldier, gets captured and put in this prisoner of war camp. So she puts an American uniform on and gets captured to put in the same camp so she can rescue him. Anyway, Jackie Hamilton's one of the extras, you see. And the director, they filmed there, right? And it was when the miners' strike was on. You know when the miners' strike was on? And then that bitter cold winter came in. And the director said, "Now look," he said, "tomorrow," he said, "I only want a dozen of you." He said, "because it's the last scene of the movie." He said, "So I'll be picking on people who are skinny and gaunt and want to shave and not like that." And he went, "I'll have you, and you." And he came to Jackie Hamilton and he went, and he missed him. And everyone went, "Oh," because during that cold weather, Jackie's kept everyone's spirits up. So the director, to be fair, went to Jackie and he said, look, Jackie, I'm awful sorry. I know tomorrow's the last day and there's going to be a few extra shilling, you know, for doing the day's work. He said, but I can't use you. He said, you're supposed to have been a prisoner of war camp locked up for 18 months or 2 years. He said, but look at you. He said, you're big, you're fat, you've got a big fat face. He said, you've got a boozer's nose and you even smell of whiskey. And Jackie said, I know. I only got captured yesterday. And Mick Miller uses that in this act and he's welcome to it. Because I love Mick Miller. He's another very, very funny fella.
Yeah, we're doing.
He's another very, very funny man. And more importantly, he's a very, very nice man.
Yeah, he is.
That's the difference, you know.
And it's nice when you meet nice people that are in showbiz as well. Yeah. So that's really interesting, everything that we've spoke about. I'm really pleased about that. So I want to talk about what we're doing together. So what we're doing together, as well as I'm a professional stand-up comedian, but I have my own business as well called Who Dares Grins. So it's a pun on the SAS. So instead of Who Dares Wins, it's Who Dares Grins. There's a smile on your chops. So we're producing an evening with your good self and an afternoon as well. And the experience, I've got to say, some of the stories have had me, and we don't want to reveal too much about that, by the way, but some of the stories have really touched me from your past and, you know, and where you're looking forward. Because I said this to you in the car, didn't I? I said, a lot of people your age would have stopped, would have said, nah, I'm all right, made a couple of quid, comfortable, you know, I'm a freeman of Liverpool, you know, I can sit back, relax. But you're still working, you're still grafting. And when we've gone out and done those shows, haven't they been great? They've been really good. And it's basically Asa interviews Ricky and he talks about his entire life story, and it is a brilliant story. There's not many people that can say that they've experienced some of the horror as well, and some of the fabulous things that have happened to you as well. So just talking about that a little bit, and you probably can't tell us too much, but obviously we know you were in Brookside and there was a collaboration with Hollyoaks.
Recently, yeah.
I've been on that as an extra, by the way. You'll just see my waist as a prison guard passing the camera. So I do that quite a bit. So how did that work, that collaboration between the two? Because it was Phil Redmond, correct me if I'm wrong, that created Brookside.
Oh, yeah.
And did he create Hollyoaks as well? And he sort of brought them together
I think so,
for a future episode. So you obviously can't tell us the storyline.
I don't know the story. I was in, I just done a day when they wanted to do that, and that was fine, you know.
Yeah.
And along with Sue Johnson, who's brilliant.
Oh, was she in it as well?
Oh, Sue, she's amazing. She can play up, you know, she can play, you know, she can be in, you know, a top jolly person like a countess or whatever, and she plays someone off the street. She's a wonderful actress.
Yeah, she is.
And we recently done a documentary about the two of us, and we were down in Coventry. And the guy who was interviewing us, we're sitting in an empty theatre with a huge stage, a massive stage. And he said to Sue Johnson, I believe, Sue, tell me what happened when you came here and performed on that stage for the first time. And she said, oh, I'll never forget it, she said. She trained at Pilkinson's in St. Helens, you know, the gas place.
The glass place, yeah.
She went to work there because they had a drama section, you know. And so she became an actress. She said, but anyway, when I walked on that stage, she said, as soon as I finished, she said, I knew I wanted to be an actress for the rest of my life. He said to me, what was it like when you walked on that stage? Well, he didn't know. I'd never been on the stage. Well, I didn't tell him. I just said, I said, I'll never forget it, I said, it was at this theatre when I was on that stage. I said, this is where I had my greatest ever role. He said, your greatest ever role? What was that? I said, it was a sausage roll from Greg's over the road. He went...
They left that in as well.
Listen, I never went... The first theatre I done was for him, for Irish Annie. I was in my 80s. I was in my 80s.
So what was that theatre, Asa? What was it?
The Epstein in Liverpool, which is thankfully reopened now. But it was funny because Ricky's done so much in his career. I just assumed he'd done it. So I said to him, he said, well, this is a new one for me. I said, what do you mean? I said, I've never done a theatre show before.
Never done theatre, no.
Anyway, it was easy for him because it's just live, innit? It's live, like we're doing here, we're talking, Ricky talks, and also what Ricky does so well in Irish Annies is he ad-libs as well. So after Ricky's done his part, which everyone's got a part, after Ricky's done his, he stays in the pub like a punter. just eating and drinking, having a packet of crisps, but he ad-libs as well. So we had some lovely moments where there was...
It was a good experience. It was
It
was a new experience for me, and it was a good experience, you know. That was great.
Yeah.
And it's sort of, that's how the idea of the evenings with came about. Because Ricky's part was about 15, 20 minutes. But we could only get a couple of stories in about Carolina Hearn, Nana, Norman Wisdom, Ken Dodd, all the people he's worked with, 51st State, the movies. You couldn't get it all in. So, you know, I said to him, you know what, wouldn't it be great if we sort of went on the road with this as a separate entity, 2 hours? And we said, obviously then, our paths crossed with yourself, come to see Irish Annies and Kirsty. Who Dares Grins were doing things. So we got together and said, okay, let's put together a future tour, retirement my arse. So basically, because I'd said to Ricky, isn't it about time you retired? And we sort of got the answer. It is.
My arse.
So we said, okay, and what this will be is, the first hour will be everything about Ricky's early life, going to prison, and then breaking into show business. The second half of the show, we put pens and paper on a table. The audience write their questions to Ricky. I vet them in the interval, and that makes up the second half of the show.
We've had some belters as well, haven't
we? We've had some corkers, yeah. I don't want to repeat some of them because they're not.
But that's why we say there's no hold barred. They can ask what they want. It's no use saying to people, write a question in and all like that. If you're stopping them from writing certain things, they've come, they've paid. They're entitled to ask whatever they want.
Some of the questions are
funny.
No,
and some of them are funny, You know, you get the odd little one about a little dig, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, we're there to entertain, and as long as we're entertaining, then I feel fine.
No, I've loved it. It's been a wonderful experience. It was weird because when I came to see Irish Annies, before I came to see it, I said I want to work with Ricky Tomlinson. I said I want to make this happen. So obviously when we came and seen the show, and then we made connections, and sort of people always say it's not what you know, it's who you know, and all of that. And I just like to call it networking. So, you know, as long as you can show, and I think we've shown that as well, that we're good to work with.
Yeah,
You've been great to work with. We keep it very simple.
Yeah.
You know, so when you get a chance to book a ticket, and there'll be some information on the bottom of the screen here. I feel like Rafa Benitez. Do you remember when he did that?
Oh, yeah.
And it appeared.
Well, that could
So that'll be there.
happen.
There'll be a QR code there. Ding, ding.
It'll be there. Or it could be here.
It could be here. It could be there. We could put it across Ricky's top. So you'll be able to go to whodaresgrins.com and .co.uk. You'll be able to purchase a ticket and come and see Asa, do this interview. You get to meet
and bring
Ricky
a nice
afterwards.
question.
Yeah, bring a nice question.
Try and bring a
as
question no one else has asked me, because I love answering them. I love to know what's in people's minds and what they're saying, and you know. And I think some of them get a shock when I talk about being a political prisoner.
Yeah.
And people go, "Oh, go away! We don't have political prisoners in this country."
Yeah.
And we do. And as I say, I was publicly pardoned after 47 years.
It's crazy, isn't it? You had to wait that
They
amount
had
of
to
time.
publicly pardon us after 40. Well, it was too late for me, mate. He was dead.
Yeah.
He was dead. He never made it.
Yeah.
You know.
I think that's what people like, without giving too much away. They'll get to hear how that all happened, you know, and the intrigue. And what's interesting, when Ricky starts talking about that part of his life, the silence is unbelievable, because you can tell people are like, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know.
He sings a song. He wrote a song called Friends. Yeah. And after I've talked about Tessie and what we went through, and the way it ended out, I was okay. I got out, and I was okay. He didn't make it, see?
Yeah.
And I'm drained.
Yeah.
And I have to sing this song. I'm singing it with tears in my eyes.
Yeah.
You know, it's not being showbiz. It's being
it's
from
been real.
there.
It's been real.
He never, they had to force me out of prison. I wouldn't go, and he said, "You've got to go." And I didn't realise at the time. They said, "Look, he's really ill. We need to get him out." So in the end, I had to give in and went home. But what I didn't realise, they were terrified of him dying in jail, because there had been an uprising.
Of course,
There had been an uprising, and he didn't last 5 minutes when he come out.
Yeah.
Young man. You know, I went to see him. Thank goodness I went to see him. And I got to meet him, you know, one more time before, because we fell out. We fell out while we were in prison, because I'd agreed to go home. And he didn't know I was like threatened to go home, or he's going to die in jail. They didn't know.
So hopefully we never have a repeat of that again, you know. So hopefully we never have a repeat of that. again. But yeah, this has been marvellous.
Can I just say as well, Ricky does something which I think is very admirable in that the meet and greet thing. We watch a lot of these things going around, and they have these like bronze, silver and gold packages.
Yes.
You know, you get to meet the person, the silver one, you know, you get to meet with them and have a biscuit. With the gold one, you get to sit on the knee. I don't know. And it's like, you know, unbelievable. Like one of them was like 90 quid to meet some fella, meet someone who the tickets were 25, but if you wanted to actually have a picture with them, it was £90.
Outrageous,
so
outrageous.
It's, you know, money's scarce these days for people, and it's like you're draining every last ounce of money out of people. So with the shows we agreed with Who Dares Grins is that once they've purchased a ticket, that's it. They won't be suddenly told, oh, by the way, if you want a picture, it's an extra 20 quid.
You get them for nothing.
It's all part of the experience. After the show, we said, give us 5 minutes. Ricky sits at a desk and we just say, everyone will get a quick picture, and we have our security man. Kenny on security. I think he might possibly be taking 5 as though, I'm not sure. I noticed his clothes have gone up.
It's the phone numbers he collects. That's the
phone numbers and £5 notes.
It's that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then that's all part of the thing. So there's none of that. Like we have a
They've paid.
Whole night.
They've paid to come out and see the show. Yeah. You don't want. They might have to get a taxi home or whatever. How do you charge someone £20 or £10 for a photograph? Ow!
And like you say, we've kept the ticket price really reasonable as well. That's a nice thing. We've kept the ticket price very reasonable.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, and you both alluded to it. When you go and see a footballer, the footballer will tell you about that wonderful goal, and you watched it, and you can sort of go and see enough of those shows. They are good, and I've worked on them, and I've worked with some wonderful footballers, but it's sort of same-ish.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But your story is very unique.
It is, I'm afraid, yeah. And I know people. I know there's quite a lot of people that are not the same politically as me, and that's fine. They come along and they listen to all that, and I just say, like, if there's any question, anything at all, you can ask me anything you want.
Yeah.
But of course, you see, I've got all the backup. I've got the photographs and the books and the trial transcripts.
Yeah, we're going to do more of that. We're going to be able to show you that as well. So we're doing a few theatre performances as well. So we'll be able to put some of that into backdrops and drop-down screens and all of that. So yeah, it's really exciting. Is there anything else you want to add? Anything else you want to
just the future shows coming up.
All the future shows.
Who Dares Grins, come and see us, myself and Ricky. Yeah. The other plan is we've just started working now on a musical. Yes. Which will be a musical of Ricky's life.
So what's that going to be called?
It's going to be called Ricky Tomlinson the Musical ? My arse. And basically, again, because I've interviewed Ricky or got to know his story over the years so well, I thought this would make a brilliant musical, but with original music again. Yeah. So I've started the initial scenes of Ricky being born, his mum and dad, then him growing up in Liverpool, and then, you know, and it'll go through the major parts of Ricky's life. Prison. There was a Ricky told me a story once, and I hope you don't mind me repeating this. But he was in prison once, and they'd thrown him into a cell in just a chair, thrown a load of water in
on the floor
to try and break him, and he has to sit on the edge of this with his feet on the edge. There's all water, and he said in the corner of the cell there was a brick, and someone had written something on it. Ricky said he made his way over to it and read it, and it said, what did it say?
The darkest hour in your life will only last for 60 minutes.
And when he told me that...
The darkest hour will only last for 60 minutes. And that was like a boost for me, you know.
So when he told me that, I wrote that down. I thought, what an amazing scene in a musical.
To open it, yeah.
That could be, you know, to sort of like have that moment with lighting and, you know, the sun coming up and Ricky getting through what he got through. So I've written most of the major scenes, and then what we do is we pay tribute to the Royle Family. So we're going to have actors playing a couple of scenes in the Royle Family.
The TV series.
Yeah, the TV series, that Ricky was in, obviously. And then other little bits, you know, maybe a monologue from Mike Bassett. But then the end of the musical will basically be this amazing life that Ricky's led.
I think I can visualise it, you know, and we spoke about this, didn't we? And I bet you've done it over your career. You manifest these things.
Yeah.
And then you start to write it down. I love talking about,
when I do the after dinners, or, you know, I love talking about Nana, of the Royle Family, because she was my hero. She was wonderful. She was an amazing actress, and like she lost a lot of work because she was funnier than the so-called star of the show. She was working it, so she got elbowed. But I had a great relationship with her, a wonderful relationship with her.
On screen, you two, like, something popped up on my social media today, and there's a scene where you're all having your roast dinner, and they're talking about Anthony's girlfriend called Emma, and you say to Nanny, you know Emma Royd. And she says, where's Emma Royd live? And you say, up your back passage. And she says, she doesn't live by my back passage, Emma Royd.
Classic, isn't it? It's just, honestly, that is still on television now.
It's just brilliant.
I just got my other half into it, and I never watched it. I felt like divorcing it. I was like, what, you've never watched this programme? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
She was wonderful, honest to God. I loved her. Brilliant. And as I say, she'd come on the set of a day when she wasn't supposed to be.
Yeah.
And always come on at 1 minute to lunchtime. 1 minute. And she'd go, and she'd pick up the cardboard plate, a couple of biscuits. Oh, a little bit of boiled ham. Oh, are they meat pies? I should say, go away, you grabbing old sod. No wonder they're doing away with the bloody winter fuel payment. I said, it's you. She used to look at me and say, you're awful.
Oh, brilliant.
No, it's great,
no, she was wonderful.
It's great, that camaraderie that you have. Like you say, those are the bits off camera that no one sees. You know, those sorts of relationships that you build. And you don't realise that pours itself down the camera and onto the screen. You know, so it's wonderful, mate. It really is.
She was really, really good, lad, honestly.
Yeah.
She was, but as I say, I tell people on the stage, she was bonkers.
Yeah.
She was bonkers, literally. And when we done that scene about where she's getting her eye done, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And she was putting H's where it was impossible to put a H. Oh, hi. He's a oculist. Mr. Hawkinshaw, the oculist. He's going to operate on my eye.
Yeah. Amazing.
I used to go hysterical.
Yeah.
They had to change the lines. They had to change the lines. Because the cameramen and everyone were falling about laughing. So in the end, I had to say it. Oh, yeah, he's going to operate on my eye. And, he's going to take the cataract out my eye and leave the twinkle there.
Oh, what a lovely line.
That's great. There's so many in that, and I think I can imagine that in a musical. So we can't, I mean, this is a question I can ask you. So if someone's playing you, and it's just, you're going to, I was thinking about this this morning, you might need 4 actors to play you at certain stages of your life.
Probably.
You know, so there's some good opportunities for some good quality actors. I don't want to name any names, but, you know.
We're going to have a little think about it, like, yeah.
Ken?
But no, I think
Ken.
Ken when I was a baby.
He's like Benjamin Button.
Well,
He sat there on camera.
Can he come on camera? A hairy baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like Benjamin Button, isn't he?
Yeah, he is, yeah.
Do you want to come on, Ken? Just say hello.
Yeah, Ken. See,
This is
we've
Kenny.
been talking about
He's
Ken.
a legend, Ken.
Oh, yeah, get yourself in there.
Get in the
Rocky.
middle there, Ken.
Ken, yeah, look, everyone will see now. Separated at birth, look.
21.
See, I played Ricky when he was a baby because he was born with a beard.
My mother was tickled to
And a
death.
baldy head.
Well, you could play Ricky, sort of, I don't know, at what point could you play Ricky in his life?
The day when he lost his trousers.
If he takes that beard off, he turns into Mini-Me.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, that's better, see. More like Ricky.
That's it, yeah. No, we'll get a wig. We'll get a little wig for him. That's it, isn't it? Yeah.
So he could be one of the Rickies, and then we just need to find a couple more, don't we? Like a younger Ricky. 4 to go. Yeah, four to go.
Do you know what? I've really enjoyed this. And hopefully this is going to be the first of many.
Them lads will edit it. You won't know it when it's done on a bit of background music and Ken dances nude across the screen. What music?
Again.
This was not planned this afternoon, I can tell you. But God, have you enjoyed coming in?
I love it, lad.
it's
I
great,
love
yeah.
it.
Do you know what? We can do this as what we're doing together progresses.
Yeah.
And I think for every launch that we do of something new, whether it's Irish Annies, whether it's an afternoon or an evening with Ricky Tomlinson, or the Ricky Tomlinson musical, we can come back and tell you folks
great.
where we're up to and how it's been going. But so far, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Can I just say,
Go on, Ken.
now that I'm a celebrity, I want to wear
Can we also say that away from working with me and Ricky, hey, Ken is also...
Carefully, Mike Sackle.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, Ken is also available for small jobs around the house, such as cleaning gutters out, Artex and...
only on bungalows.
Oh, yeah.
Skirting boards, you can paint skirting boards at head height. It's amazing. So we had fun. It's been good, hasn't it?
I love it. It's nice to see the lads
good.
working. It's
Yeah,
like
it is.
something going on. And,
It is, and that's why I wanted to film this in Liverpool. I love Liverpool.
So do I, lad.
I think it's one of the best cities on the planet. You know, I'm going to sound biased. I'm probably like you guys over the years. I've travelled all over the world, and I don't think there's a better city where if you're a stranger and you come in.
I love it.
I remember asking a guy for directions once in Liverpool when I first became a stand-up comedian, and I said, "Excuse me, mate, where's Envy?" And it was a nightclub years ago that used to run a comedy night through the very famous guys at Hot Water. And he said, "I'll take you." And he took me down the street and we were having a chat and he went, "Oh, that's so-and-so, that's so." And I don't think you get, and at first I thought, what's going on here?
Yeah.
I just wanted to go in to say, go left, go right, go left.
No.
And he went, "No, I'll take you, son, I'm going that way."
That's it.
And he went, "There you go." And he took me to the door and I said, "Nice to meet you."
That's quite right.
Yeah.
And I don't think you get that anywhere else. I don't think you get that
We're
anywhere
all
else.
ambassadors for our own city.
You are.
Yeah, definitely.
You're absolutely right. You're
Definitely.
absolutely right.
Definitely.
I'm made up because I'm a freeman of the city, and that's part of the thing. And I'm delighted. The last one to be made a freeman of the city was Sue Johnson.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't there something daft? I might be talking out of turn here. Isn't there something where you're allowed to walk your sheep?
Down Dale Street.
Really?
You can drive a flock of sheep down Dale Street. Now, obviously, we can't get hold of any sheep. So what I'm thinking of doing as a fundraiser is getting a bloody big handcart, right? And getting it like Johnny Vegas and a couple of lads from St. Helens, because they're woolly backs.
Oh, yeah.
Put the woolly backs in the handcart. That'll do it, won't it?
Yeah.
And we just have you on the side with the can saying, put the helicopters in.
Or he could be a shepherd with the big staff, couldn't he?
That is incredible. I can see it. I can see it. The turnout would be amazing for that. Listen, I hope you've enjoyed this first of many episodes on YouTube, on Bobby Murdock YouTube channel. Here is whodaresgrins.com.co.uk. There's a QR code there. Just scan that and you can get a ticket to come and see this wonderful
Yeah, come and meet
afternoon.
us, not come and get a ticket.
Come
and
and get a
see the
ticket, come and
show.
see Ricky, come and
and
see the
meet
gig.
us. It only takes a minute. It's up to yourself.
Yeah.
Bring your mum and your gran, and that's what
Yeah,
it's
that's
all
a
about.
nice thing because the age spread that we've had on this gig. So we've had people that have come as families. We've had people that, like you said, have brought Nana, mum, dad, the fiance, the girlfriend. They've all come. We've had young people that are aspiring to be actors and actresses. Ask Ricky those questions.
That's right.
And Ricky's given them wonderful tips. So that's the nice thing about this. And then obviously you get to meet him. Quick photograph, you know, you'll sign something. We sell a little bit of merchandise. We have a book, The Rusty Key.
The children's
We have
book, yeah.
Asa's,
The children's book,
CD
yeah.
as well, which we sell, the Irish Annie's CD, which is fabulous. So you won't be disappointed. We've got a load of dates. Scan the QR code, visit the website, it's all there. And we can't wait to see you. So absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Ricky. Absolute
My pleasure.
Thank you, Kenny.
Cheers.
Thanks,
Thank you,
mate. Thank
Asa.
you.
Lovely.
Thanks for watching, and we will see you again soon for another
We'll
episode.
be back shortly in a month or so for an update.
For an update,
To
yeah,
give
we'll
them
be
an
doing all
update,
that.
tell them where we've been, where we're going,
doing
and
that.
what. Yeah. Thanks, folks.
Thanks for watching. Say goodbye, everyone. We'll
Bye-bye.
see you soon.
Cheers, kid.
Another episode of In Conversation with Bobby Murdock. I've been Bobby Murdock. These have been my guests.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching, and we will see you again.
Cheers.
Thank you.
All the best.